Uh, nope, shouldn't have to. And then, so
Same link as
same link, same link, should work. So we're live now. And for anybody that's sort of on this side, you can see what's going on here. Um, so what happens is I get now to see one of the reasons why this multi-monitor is so crucial, because what we're streaming is this view. And then what is showing up, like I get to see my view, but then all the controls, and I see the comments showing up there. So I use this right-hand monitor as just sort of my stream control. I don't have it set up yet, but the Stream Deck will let you basically swap between different scenes. And a scene in streaming world is just like where if you've seen these YouTube videos where it say "be right back" or "starting soon" or whatever, that'd be there. Oh, so we have 4 people online now.
I'm online.
Okay, try adding a comment, but there's more than you. So was that?
I'm not locked in, so
Did it work? Now, one thing I have noticed with Ecamm, it is a little it is a little bit slow. Um,
No, this.
was that
No.
okay? Well, for anybody that's joined that is not part of the Conexiom team, because we have 5 people now on it. Welcome. We are here up in Vancouver. You can see Vancouver behind me. And I'm joined by the fabulous engineering team of Conexiom. So there's a whole bunch of people in the in our conference room here. And
Tony, want to show the face?
was that? Oh, you're on it? Cool. Okay, so try adding a comment.
I'm not logged in.
Yeah, see, that's the I don't know how to do it with Ecamm. What I've seen in other ones is where non-logged in people can comment, and I don't know how to turn that on yet. 'Cause this is new stuff. So anybody that does know, if anybody, please send me a note separately. So maybe before I get started on just sort of my coding, like what are you guys using today for AI tools?
It's Copilot. Copilot.
GitHub Copilot.
GitHub Copilot.
That's it?
Yeah, right now.
Oh my God.
I've used Cursor before. Now we're using Copilot.
Okay.
We evaluated Cursor.
Was that?
We evaluated Cursor.
And why'd you use
we
it?
haven't switched yet. We're still doing that evaluation. But the guys right now, they're using GitHub Copilot.
Okay.
We should switch.
All right. So I'm going to proactively and preemptively maybe get myself in trouble. But the reason I was late to meet up with all you guys was I was just meeting with Brett. I think you guys know who Brett is. He's the money guy. And the thing I said is I want budget for AI tools for all the developers. And okay, so no. So he said yes. We have one meeting on Thursday with Holly, the head of the private equity firm, to go through the overall budget stuff. So if you don't hear otherwise from me by Friday morning, game on time. Go get the stuff. So I'm going to show you all the stuff you guys need to get. Because if you're on, I do apologize. I forgot your name. I think we met earlier. Was that? No, I know you, Alan, but behind you. What's that? Divya. When I say guys, when I was at university years ago, I went to Princeton, so this is a sort of New York, and I was this Alabama boy. I grew up in Southern Alabama, and my RA, the resident, advisor, she was this striking supermodel, super tall, slender African American lady, and an ardent feminist. But she also grew up in Manhattan, and so every time she said guys, she said guys. Like she's like you guys, because that's just sort of New York slang. And she couldn't reconcile that with being a feminist. And so she said, I spell guys, not Guys, Gies. So it's the gender inclusive version of guys. So there's my gender inclusive version of guys. So my anyway, so when I walk you through just some of the tools, maybe we'll start there, and I'll just give you a quick preview of some of the tools that I use. the thing I would say is GitHub Copilot was absolutely amazing and groundbreaking when it came out. Actually, a dear friend of mine, a guy named Ogo Moore, is the guy that invented it. So he's turning 60 in September. I'm going to be out, and he lives in Malta. So he invited me out to Malta. I'm going to hang out in Malta with him for his 60th birthday. But he left, and the thing's gone downhill. Copilot is easily 6 to 9 months behind. And you will have your mind blown when you get to use the new tools. So let's do a quick tour of the new tools. There's 3 that I use super regularly, and there's a couple more I would mention. The thing I would say with tools is don't do not get attached to anything. This stuff is changing so freaking fast that whatever I tell you now, I guarantee, next week there's going to be some new announcement. Use that too, right? Because the name of the game is not the tool you're using. The name of the game is each of you, right? How do we make each of you like just completely freaking turbocharged and a monster, right? And so use the tool that makes the most sense for you, gets the best results, and so forth. So let me start with, actually, this one's stuck. Let's just see if that works. So I'll kind of show you all what I'm, oh no, the build failed. All right, this is a good example. So, so what I've done here, this is this thing called Job Speed on OS. It's kind of our starter kit. Can you all read this, or should I make it bigger? Is that better? Job Speed on OS is our starter kit for doing what we call Tiger Team projects across a portfolio. This is the orders everywhere stuff we're working on with you all. And it's basically, it's a Next.js, Vercel, all serverless, like go fast kit. And so, again, just like my live stream update, I was a little bit of a moron. And earlier today, I'm like, hey, let me just upgrade the packages, because of course that's going to work fine. So you can see here in my package.json, I have a little routine in here called bump deps. So it's just one of my little scripts. And so it just runs through and bumps all the dependencies. And it is failing. The build fails, which really shouldn't happen, but sometimes it does. And what we see here is failing in this thing called Storybook. Are you guys using Storybook or no? Yeah, Storybook is awesome for just like testing your components, and part of the pain in doing, I love doing React, but like if you got a page and it's got 100 React components, like how the hell do you test this shit? So put it into Storybooks for each one of them, and it just makes it so much nicer. So we got Storybook to test out all of our different UI components, but something died. And in this particular case, I've seen this error before. It goofs all the time. It gets confused about import. So something got wrong on the importing of the shadcn pieces. And so the first tool I want to show you is, actually, I'm going to come back. I'm going to set this running, but I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to run Codex. This is the command line one. And what we're going to do is we're going to take all of that build stuff. So this is just a coding agent for local. So we're going to say the build is failing. We just upgraded dependencies across the board. So something new that came in is breaking. You'll notice that we're using the O3 Pro model. So just like I said, just use the best AI you can. Because remember, I care about improving your productivity, not like even if you use O3 Pro Max, you just, let me put it and this is what I told Brett. I said, if anybody starts running out of AI credits, it's a good thing. But you're going to try hard, and I guarantee that AI is cheaper than all of us here. So it's about maximizing your productivity. So just go, 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 go on use the best AI model you can. So O3 Pro right now is the best one, I think. So anyway, something that came in is broken. The build command, it should know it, but it helps to refresh, is turbo run build. Here is the error. All right. So we're just going to let that go off and think and try to fix the build. So in the meantime,
Is there a way to connect the terminal contacts to the codec? So that way you don't have to copy paste.
there isn't that I know about in Codex, in the command line version. But what we're going to do now is go to we're going to use cursor now. So I'm going to give a quick tour of some of the stuff in Cursor. So Cursor looks like Visual Studio. It's actually a clone. As a side business note, this was maybe like the biggest strategic error Microsoft's ever made, because Cursor is now making over $500 million a year. And they've now surpassed Visual Studio Code in terms of usage. So it's now the #1 code editor out there. The thing that is really, really slick about Cursor, it's Visual Studio Code. So it's all the stuff you're used to. But what you can do in it is this right-hand pane is what they call their composer. And this is where you can basically have the agent go run and do things for you. And so my typical model is I actually start with go launch Safari. So I start with the codecs on the web. And this is where OpenAI and the Infinite Wisdom use the same name for two different products, but whatever. All right, so in the Thrive team, we're going to go to codecs here. And I can just show you all some of the stuff that I would do. Anybody was coding back in the days of Waterfall? All right, we're going to go back to Waterfall. Okay, not like the really bad version of Waterfall, but the thing that makes the AIs work better is to ask it to do a planning step first. And so what I typically do is, let's just go through, oh, this one's still open. Let's start here with this planning one. And so what I asked it to do is, see if this expands out. So I wanted to basically add this new feature, right? So we have this new thing in Jobs to be done where we can get usage metrics from the application and send it over to Thrive 4 to get analysis against the whole Jobs to be done. And I think everybody's heard the whole Jobs to be done story and all that. All right, I'm gonna skip all that. But I wanted to basically write a little sample app to make it easier for all the portfolio companies to send the data to the central Thrive analysis app. And so what I asked it to do is, starting off, we just want a simple vanilla metrics app. And said, don't write any code for it. And just write in the to-do directory a series of step-by-step instructions. So I'd start off with a planning thing. And then it went off and did it. And one of the things you might notice, oh, this is already merged, so it got rid of the extra stuff. Let's do one that's open. One of the things that let's go back to this task thing. So if I create a new task, you see this number of versions. Okay, how many times has Copilot just gone off the reservation and written crap? A lot. Now, the newer models like O3 Pro and all that, they don't write as much crap, so that's good news. Still do from time to time, and pretty often, somewhat regularly. So what you do is you literally tell it to go do 4 versions. And what'll happen then is, let's just go to the one that's open. So we've got update the MCP sample to use Thrive for send feedback. Oh, I actually do have I've got the stuff now on this, so we can actually do this one for real. I just asked it to write the documentation for it. Oh no, sorry. In this case, it's actually doing it, but it gave me 4 versions. So I got a version 1, a version 2, a version 3, and a version 4. Right. And so I can go through and look at these different versions and see which one has got the right answer. So in this case, let's look at the code. And so what I'm doing now, like I rarely write code anymore. Mostly I'm just code reviewing. And that actually looks pretty good, that one. Let's go back to this one.
Does it tell you what the difference will be?
They don't tell, right now they don't tell you the difference. It's a good question, but they don't tell you.
Could you ask it to tell you the difference?
That's a good question. I don't think so. I think because the way it's running in the back end is they're just spinning up 4 different containers, so I don't think they really have knowledge of each other.
So
And
the prompt for different versions is the same?
prompt is the same. It literally just runs it 4 times. So, but in this case, it looks like they're pretty much all 4 times is like the same thing everywhere. Yeah, so let's just go with this. So I like this version, and so we're just going to do a pull request to go do that part and just let it. Now it's going off to GitHub and Vercel. Vercel is integrated in with GitHub, and so, oh, I'd already run this. So it already passed all the builds and everything, right? So this one's actually ready to go. I just haven't merged it. So we're just going to merge this. I don't know what you guys have for, like, I think you're using the Azure build pipeline.
Do Copilot code review in the middle of Copilot review. Does it tell you something?
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
I haven't tried that on this one. Well, we'll let it go. We'll let it go do the code review. But I'm gonna go ahead and merge this sucker. Because I know it just passed all the tests and all that stuff. So we're just gonna go in. And then I always get rid of my branches just because I hate having lots and lots of random branches running around. It just gets annoying. Was that?
You can set it up to auto delete that branch when you merge it.
Yeah. I'm old school. Like I always want deletes. No, I stay in control of deletes. Just particularly with a little AI running around, you know. So let's see here. Oh, hey, we have Israel. He gave us a comment. Oh, is Izzy? Oh, is he here? No, I don't see Izzy. Oh, he's in Calgary. Okay. So I'm gonna say, hey, Izzy. This should be showing up on the. Yeah, I do a super hard stop. But we can do this again tomorrow, guys.
Sure.
Cloud code is the alternative. So this is only showing up in the live stream for those of you on the. So we add that to the broadcast. Yeah. Izzy's awesome. So yeah, Claude Code is another one to look at. If you go to my let me come back to this. So the what I'll use here, and the thing I like about Codex here, and you can see like I've got a bunch of these, and this is just for one project. And so you can set up as many of these running in parallel. So it gets super wild. At one point I had, on another project, I had 12 of them running at the same time. But the reason I was sort of saying we're kind of going back to waterfall, because like if you want 12, you can do 12 running if you want, but now you got to think of 12 things you can do in parallel. And so what I tend to do is kind of 2 or 3 things per project. But since I'm working on a couple different projects, I'll just run the projects in parallel. So I do some of the Conexiom stuff, some of the Thrive stuff, some of the stuff for another Portco, and just run it all stacked. With Web Codex doing my planning. The thing I've found with Web Codex is it has internet support. It gets goofed on shit like installing new packages and things like that. It just, I don't get why it doesn't work perfectly. It just doesn't. And so what I will then do is kind of what we see here is I then use the codex for the command line. And the reason I do that is on my home system that I was showing you, this thing, you can see I have two terminals there, and then when I'm really coding, I'll put another 4 up there. And so every one of those is running a codex on the different stuff. So I've got the plans coming in from the web thing, and the web stuff works great just on the phone. So when I had the 12 running, I literally was doing this bike ride. So I was doing a 30-mile bike ride. I put my phone on attached to my bike, and I'm just telling the AI, go, 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 as I'm riding. And every now and then I had to stop to type in some new command. But you can run the web stuff off your phone. So you can be coding kind of from anywhere. But then I have the command line stuff running there. And like I said, I'll have 4 to 6 of these running on the command line version. And then I use cursor for like where I'm paying attention, because this stuff like just doesn't always work. Or times when I want to write code by hand or I need to edit code by hand. So we're gonna let that keep going. I'm gonna put cursor up again, because one of the things that I want to show you here, and this would be a good way to maybe end for today. Let me give you a quick tour of the, is this readable? Quick tour of some of the files that you want to have in your project now. Go over there. So there's basically 3 files that are, or 4 if you're using, since Izzy's using Claude. You either want a claude.md, a codex.md, an agents.md, and both, and then cursor rules, which goes into a .cursor directory. And so if you think about so I assume some of y'all are using just ChatGPT to have it write some code and stuff. If you just say, hey, ChatGPT, write me some code to go do whatever, I mean, you don't give it any other guidance, it just spits out Python code because it loves Python. And so you have to say, well, write me some .NET code or write me some, JavaScript or TypeScript or whatever. You got to give it some of that context. And the more context you give it, the better results you get. So what these files are is basically the context that sort of is always injected to every command. So agents is the one that is run for the web. Agents.md is read by the web codex that I just showed you. Claude.md is read by the Claude code command line, and codex.md is read by the codex command line. And then the cursor rules is read by the cursor app here. So just to show you what I was running there, this is a good example of what a good codex or agents.md file should look like. So basically just talks about, what are we trying to do with this project? So we say it's a starter kit for jobs to be done, blah, blah, blah. So we're kind of orienting it in kind of the philosophy of the app. And then give a little bit more about kind of the background. And then I'll talk about how this thing is structured. So this is a mono repo using turbo repo. Turbo run build is my build command. This is the tech stack I want. And also give it some commands that I like, you know, something, my preferences, right? So like I care about quality, so please write tests for everything. So this is just sort of the base commands we give to Codex so that I don't have to retype this all the time. And then in cursor rules, we do the same thing. And so what same type of thing, but in cursor, you put it in a .cursor directory with a rules directory, and then you can basically add more specific rules per topic area. And so Cursor did a good job of this. I think a better job than OpenAI for because like the way you might have rules for React might be different than say a .NET backend, or if you have like rules you want to have for Storybook, you can basically piece out the rules and have specific context for each sort of piece of your application. So they did a really good job on that. This particular set of rules I've copied over. You can see this is green, so I'm adding in part of one of the features I want to add in today. We've got in this case, you know, when to add an API route. You know, what I want to do, how I'm using Zod, for example, and this is for the API conventions. One of the things I want to add here is the conceptual model. And so in this case, this is wrong. So I took the, this is a conceptual model from,
It's 5 o'clock now.
yeah, I do need to go. So we're just gonna show you the last thing here. In the agents, you can choose the model. And so the last sort of piece here is, so I tend to use O3 Pro right now. The next one that I like is Claude 4 Opus, but in max mode. That's the other one that's basically on par. But you can put in Gemini, you can put in all the different models, and choose the one you want out of Cursor. So you can always be on the latest. And so if the AI isn't giving you a good response, come on in, Lucy. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it from here since I relocated my gear. Yeah, if you think we can get away with it.
Yeah, that's what I just wanted.
Let's do 5 more minutes if you don't mind, and then we'll wrap up here. So it works exactly the same way. So let's just do here. Please, let's say I'm going to add in agents.md. Okay, so please study agents.md for the type of project we are building. And then flesh out the conceptual model. Do I have a docs? Apps. To reflect. Okay, so what I did with this @ sign is I added in some particular context, and you can add in all kinds of shit. You can add in files, directories, other Git repos. You can connect to your terminal, so that goes to, I think you're asking about, can you connect it? So Cursor has just done a fabulous job of this. You can also just reference a website, which is really handy for like referencing web documentation and so forth. So in this case, I just want to update my Cursor rules to basically talk a little bit more about a conceptual model. So we're going to let that rip. And let's go check the database. That looks correct. And that looks good. And that looks good. So the last thing, while it's thinking here, the last thing I'd show you is kind of a best practice. Is you notice I have this to-do directory over here, and it's got like a crap ton of files in here and a bunch of directories. And so this is what I have this is how I'm going in parallel, because basically all the stuff I need to do, I have the AI go out and plan it. So it's basically, it's, the thing that was nice about the waterfall model we used to do is, like, by the time we got to writing code, it ended up usually being pretty easy to write the code. You just had 3 months of blowing your brain out because it's so freaking boring as you try to plan all this shit. Um, and so agile was more fun because, again, we're just writing code all the time. But if you can do that 3 months of planning just overnight, 'cause you just had 12 agents go rip through and do your waterfall plan. Now, when you wake up, you basically just have all of your different pieces that you need to do. They're already done. And so literally my day to day is I'll wake up in the morning. I'll have all my to dos for like a dozen or more to dos already sort of pre thought out. I will go through them and say, make whatever edits I want to make, and then I set my codexes up to go. Yay! It looks like it got it. So we're gonna just do a turbo run build, and hopefully that builds. And fuck, excuse me, technical term. It did not build. So the AI was wrong on all that. Let's just double check that. All right. Well, I can't check in obviously until that gets done. But basically, what I'm doing is I'm now doing exactly what I'm doing here, of just going sort of plan by plan, because I'll set up all my different codexes, building the different versions, and then just sort of go one by one and get them dialed in, check them in, get them dialed in, check them in. And so I'm just racing through stuff like no tomorrow. And then all the normal, like, say BS stuff that nobody ever gets to, writing unit tests, writing docs. Just have the AI go, just have it say, every time you do a fix, write a test and write a document for it. So it's just automatically just getting caught up on all that backlog stuff.
Question for you.
Yeah, and then I do need to do the 5 o'clock. Sorry, guys. Yeah.
But the plans, do they take the whole night to create another agent?
No, everything.
Just go-
Codex runs usually in about 5 to 15 minutes, so it'll get done. But the thing that does not exist yet that I really, really, really want, and I know I talked to some folks at both Cursor and OpenAI. They're working on it. Like, I want to chain these things together. All right, so we'll do the plan, then do the implementation, then write some tests, and then run it and make sure it works. And like, so if you can chain it together, you could let it run all night. That doesn't exist yet.
Agent of agents.
Agent of agents, exactly. All right, y'all. Thanks so much. Sorry to make y'all clear out, but it's probably faster to have y'all clear out than me reset this thing up. So we'll do it again tomorrow.